The first thing I'd like to do is to have both Kieran and Barry give a little bit of an introduction to the capabilities of Drupal and WordPress for those in the audience who might not be too familiar with it, or for those who are at a state where they're in a company that is planning on making a change and is considering an open source CMS for the first time. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Barry to talk a little bit about Automatic as well as WordPress.
Sure. So before I start, I'd just like to see a show of hands. Who actually uses WordPress today or has used WordPress?
Yeah. It's a lot.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, Automatic is the company founded in 2005 by Matt Mullenweg, who actually was the co-founder of the WordPress open source project in 2003. And we run a variety of sites. WordPress.com is the largest one, but we also run a couple other sites that do over 1 billion impressions a month, and the list is up there.
And Kieran, would you like to say a couple words about Drupal?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to start off by saying that if you're thinking about switching to a CMS, this is an interesting perspective because I think WordPress and Drupal are two of the best options that you have out there. And basically what this slide says is that about 76% of the web today is in PHP. So if you're an enterprise person, you're coming from a .NET or a Java background, you're really figuring out where the web's going, it's overwhelmingly going towards PHP-delivered sites. Drupal really started 10 years ago by a guy named Dries Buytaert, and he was really at an interesting time in the web. He was a computer scientist who was on his way to getting his PhD, and really bright guy. He got 5 papers in the object-oriented programming languages, conference guides, and things like that. And he wanted to build something for his college roommates, and so he basically built sort of a classic website out of the box. Was a bulletin board at the time. But at the same time, we saw all these trends emerge: blogging, commenting, forums, social features, social profiles, and things like that. And so Drupal grew up at sort of this really interesting intersection of being a classic CMS, but also a social platform so that you could plug in. And the way he did that was by adding an architecture that allowed you to plug in very sophisticated features called modules into the system. Drupal's widely loved. I think the one that probably most people now know about is for Drupal is the White House, and we now have over 120 governments worldwide using Drupal at the national level, and so it's seen a lot of love and a lot of love by people. Just out of show of hands, how many people here have used Drupal or thinking about using Drupal? Okay, great.